All right, I'm gonna make this quick. So we have July 26th. Today is Friday. If we go back and look at the higher time frame, just kind of take a look at this. I did have my notes for one of the other videos, kind of going over my thoughts. But ideally, we had two big sell-off days. Tried the base. We ended up having a surprise gap down with the follow through. Ended up opening. We ended up having like a bearish day, a bearish overnight, if I recall. We ended up shooting up, and then ended up rejecting pretty hard, thinking that we were going to stabilize, but we ended up closing towards the end of that day. Give me one moment. Sorry, I had to close the door. I didn't give away all my secrets. Okay, so yeah, we ended up closing. So we ended up closing at the low. Pretty much the same thing here for NQ. Um, I have a lot of my notes in the prep, so I'll disregard that here. But so we get to see my other video. But essentially, we did exactly what I was hoping. Excuse me, let me not say that. The buyers completed their mission that I thought would be ideal for them, which was a close over this key level here. It was just this balance range in this area. So we ended up closing above this close here and the open here, which leaves us for, I'm not sure what kind of candlestick this is. However, we're able to get back into this range. I think this is still bearish, but it's not as panicky. Where are we at regarding there? Okay, cool. About the same thing here, but this here was a whole ass inside bar. So there's something to be on the lookout for. So I'll make sure that I put a note in for the NASDAQ. Look at our volume. Still got a whole bunch of buyers coming in, putting in a lot of effort. 1.9 mil. No real trading down there. Definitely going to put in my, do these sing? Oh no, no singles, right? Pretty orderly day. Actually, that's yeah, that's a pretty nice day. They need to stay above this level. The fact that we're able to get above this zone here, which I believe is the contract premium. So I would imagine like a fair amount of trades are going to go in here. I think this is pretty good. So as far as I'm seeing this, we finished the week still in this premium. So we're trying to put up a little fight there. I'm gonna collapse this. This goes back to the 16th. I expanded all of them. Same thing for the NQ. This is just like a big volume node here that I took note of. We've already eaten up their contract premium. Close above this, same thing, but clearly much more bearish. Absolutely much more bearish than the ES. Okay, next, keep this going. I want to keep this quick. So this is at 3 minutes 50 seconds. Same thing here, a little more increase in volume, but there's not as many of the buyers here. So this is actually lighter volume. I'm a little surprised. I thought this was going to be a little higher, at least getting closer to like 8,000. But I mean, we got to 70. We got to 70K, so that's pretty good. Seems like a lot of sellers here. I'm assuming the buyers came in maybe a little later in the day. But yeah, again, typically I would write this out, but I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of it for today, and I'm just doing a different approach. But okay, so that was a day just from our overview. Again, when we closed that daily candle, we ended up gapping up just a little bit. Oh, I think something that's important to mention. There was no lower low for Thursday, so that was nice. That is something that I put in my notes, and I thought that was pretty important. Where we got right at 5 minutes. Okay, again, so we ended up gapping up just a small little bit. Ended up having an open drive, pushed up, tried to trail, not trail, but ended up sliding down two rate trading a little bit. Ended up breaking that low. I think maybe they broke this. Yeah, just a little bit. Same with the Nasdaq. You just bear with me here. Okay, there we go. So we ended up drifting up. This was all above the IB low. Ended up pushing up, still trading above the VWAP. Pushing up through IB mid, pushing up through IB mid. Nasdaq is a little lagging, pushing all the way through to the IB high, and we failed. We ended up breaking through with that 530 candle and rejecting it, trading down into the RTH open, into an open drive starter. Same thing here, except we were able to trade above the IB high, which is a sign of a little more strength. And then being rejected and sent down from that SOC at 530 for the PCE, headed into the RTH open, but they did not have a open drive. So much more bullish, opening up above the IB high, open up above the IB mid. Notice the coiling for tech. I actually ended up taking a trade right there. And then notice the coiling or channeling upwards, breaking that high for ES. Ended up taking a trade here at this open. Got stopped out. Never broke this IB low. So open test drive, or maybe, yeah, it looked like open test drive, I guess. And this would just be like an open auction. This is ugly. In hindsight, it's horrible to trade this. End up channeling upwards. Break this. What time we got? 7:30. Keep this simple and natural. Actually, let me put this back on because I don't have my indicators set properly. Okay, cool. So we have the both bands. So yeah, we ended up channeling upwards, pending the 7 a.m. data. Just close above the open, close above these VWAP bands, close above the 5S, 5 smooth and average. Ended up shooting down, holding up, very nice hold. Ended up collapsing down, breaking through the DGPs in the mid and the open. This is actually where I entered. Chop sideways. Went up, we went down here. My whole theory was if this is indeed balance, this mid and this open price would be a pretty good idea to get in. Ended up buying here, and I had my stop below this here low, which is where I got stopped out eventually. I ended up stepping away. But we ended up checking this mid price, hit this VWAP, held. Tried to go back down again, held. Push. Rejected it right here, and hold it. Hold it. Push through. Break. Can't reach that low. And then we just channel upwards. I mean, it's pretty simple. Seemed like it was going to be a trend day until we had a big sell. I'm not sure what happened here. It could have been some news, or maybe it was just, you know, we have been range trading for a while. But I mean, shit, for a 3 minute candle to drop 22 points, that's interesting. But happens, seems like maybe once or twice a month for sure. And then this good little trail down. I actually be interested to see how much this happens. This big ass engulfing candle. But yeah, that's it. Then we ended up closing above the DGPs. So I mean, this was a solid performance from ES. We had 10 minutes, and then the Nazi channel down instead of coiling. I was not. Oh yeah, I ended up entering here because when the ES broke their mid and tested that mid open area and then tested that VWAP, they ended up rejecting their low here. I mean, they ended up bouncing back up with this down spike here. So of course this was still a little bearish, but it was supposed to be more of like a correlation play. I ended up checking the DOM, and then as we ended up coming back up to this open, I ended up buying it and ended up pushing. So I mean, this was like a nice little push up for tech. I like how they ended up breaking this first off this high here in this B period, and then the second high here, but they were rejected. So this was just definitely a sign of like balance for sure. As we come down, we chop a little bit, we ended up protecting that low, getting rejected, real tough fight, and then we ended up doing a tick reversal like this. So this is in my playbook. I saw this. This was an automatic buy, especially given the two pops above. However, I was not attentive to the ranges of these candles, and I realized that this was like 33, 32 points, if I recall. And I ended up having my stop pretty much like right there, and ended up getting stopped down. It was like right below IB low. That was my thought. If we can get up here but not get below IB low, which ended up being 12 points, we should be good. This is straight in with fucking scared money. This makes no sense. Why would we not test this area when we did it multiple times earlier? You know what I mean? At least, my theory would be proven incorrect if we came back down. However, I was trading with scared money. I was just trading one contract or one micro. It makes no sense for me to not get in with this and then just have this stop here. But my issue was more on the fact that I'm not at 100% with my confidence, and I was nervous to buy here because I couldn't tell that it was like a tick low reversal. So I just wanted to wait for quote unquote confirmation and make sure this held. So I just need to realize that at that point I will be taking price risk instead of information risk. I can take information risk and bought somewhere up here, but that would be trying to predict and low key trying to front run this event, this possible move, opposed to waiting into seeing what's happening and then understanding like, hey, if you're gonna be a part of this, either your ass is gonna have to risk these 30 plus points, or you just wait to see, do we have any kind of pullbacks? Maybe something like this, and you just miss it. But I mean, these were two opportunities. I'd be low. I'd be low. It could have been as simple as that. Like, hey, check the activity for this IB low, and if it seems like we're getting pushed back, you can go from the IB low to down here, which is 20 points. So that'll take off a third of that risk right there. Just my thought. Now that we are doing this video, you would think about how would you manage this trade. I'm not exactly sure here. I didn't do a good job managing my trade earlier because I walked away, so I'm not going to harp too much on that. But just want to review this day. This was a nice hold from the NQ as well. I love that they closed above their IB high. Nice shit. If you're looking at the hourly candle, then you would say that they didn't close at their IB high. But I just look at the first 30 minutes. So, sue me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna look at crude oil. I'm not gonna look at gold or anything like that. I think this makes sense. I may do another video towards the weekend for the future ideas, future plots, preparation, what have you. But okay, hopefully I actually recorded everything. We'll see how this goes. GG's.